All right, you guys, so this week all of our class is going to take place online. So it is the communication portion of our class. How are you going to use Canvas to communicate with your students? And you get overviews to several of the tools. So Max and I thought this would be a good week for us not to have our face-to-face session. Also, both of us are going to be out of town, so it works out well. But you're going to be utilizing discussion board. If you're coming to the class late, make sure that you're checking back on the first 2 weeks and really looking back at last week's discussion board, because last week I think we really hit the heart of Canvas. How are you going to organize your class? What is that setup going to be? Canvas definitely pushes you more into a module system, which many of us didn't use in Blackboard. So maybe a little bit different for you. So really kind of think about that and reflect on that. If you did do it last week and you want to add more, head back on in and we will talk to you there. Another tool, obviously besides the inbox, which I think is really easy, it's kind of much more of like an email tool, is going to be the conference tool. And I generally use conferences multiple times in my semester. I do whole class conferences and I do individual student conferences. It's a great tool. You've got a lot of options being part of the California Community College system. You can use Confer Now, you can use Zoom, you can use CCC Confer, which are all slightly different but related options. There's also the big blue button tool in Canvas, and you can see that on the left-hand side of your screen. It's a great tool. It's got a couple of drawbacks. One, there's no closed captioning available. So if you have a student with disabilities and they need closed captioning, think about that. So if you have large classes, you might want to go with Confer Now so that you can request a captioner, just to make sure that, you know, everyone, because sometimes students who speak a different language, that type of thing, they really like to have the caption. So kind of think about that as you plan out your conferences. The other thing that it only does, it keeps your recordings for 2 weeks. For me, that's perfect. I don't want to keep them all semester, but some people may want to. So think about that. You know, you can archive much longer in the other systems. They're a lot clumsier to use. Big blue button, students click join, they're in there. If you're in Mozilla, not Chrome, Mozilla, you can share your screen so you can do some one-on-one help with the student and look at their essay and write in Word, and it's really awesome. I do that a lot. So let us know. Maybe we can set up one of those sessions if you came to the class late and you need a little bit of extra help and you can't come to Canvas and you'd like to do that with Max or I think that's definitely a possibility. So let us know. We'll talk to you online this week. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye.